Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about why Uber, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Lyft, Grubhub, and Instacart are the God savior for people trying to escape the matrix. But before I go into that, I want to mention to you guys that I have a free school community it's a like-minded group of men. We share our struggles, we share our wins, we provide insight on what has helped us and how we can each better ourselves in our journeys. And I also have 2 free courses in there, one on financial prosperity and one on bettering your health. In those courses, I talk about things that I don't really go into too much here on YouTube, so you guys will definitely want to check that out. So the link is in the description, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Guys, Uber, DoorDash, these gigs where you do deliveries are an absolute godsend from Jesus, from God, the universe, whatever. I cannot tell you how easy it is. Really, that's what it is. It's so easy to jump in your car whenever you want and just go drive for a few hours at a time, right? And I'll tell you this, I've worked multiple jobs, right? I've worked 2 jobs at one time. I worked at a restaurant, right? I currently work in retail right now, and I can tell you this. If you guys want extra income, if you guys want a couple extra $100 each week, this is something that you should look into, right? It's very simple, right? If you have a car, if you have a driver, I think for Uber you got to be, I think it's 18 or 21, don't quote me. Lyft is 25. I actually tried to sign up for Lyft, and I guess I'm not old enough. I turned 25 in like 6 months. So anyways, as long as you have a valid driver's license, right? Your car's, I think it has to be under 10 years old, right? I think that as well. But this is something anyone can do, right? And guys, being able to go around, right, freely, driving around and being in your own thoughts, being in your own mind, right, is a blessing, right? It's almost like you get paid to just drive your car, right? That's literally what it is. And I've worked at a restaurant dealing with customers and standing at a host stand for 4 to 5 hours at a time, and it was okay, right? Obviously, I mean, it was the best thing I knew at the moment, and one of my buddies asked me if I wanted to work there, so I was like, all right, you know what, let me give this a shot. I want some extra money. But one thing about working jobs, right, especially if you're not a manager or you are a manager, you can't necessarily leave when you want to leave. Like in my job right now, like I have to stay. If someone doesn't show up, or if 2 people decide to not show up, right, I have to stay, right? And luckily that doesn't happen. People, like I haven't had to work that many doubles in the past year and a half, right? But there was a time where people were not showing up at all, like during the pandemic, and I had to stay, right? I had to work doubles when it's like, dude, I didn't want to do that, right? And there's times where if I'm by myself or I'm with someone who's, not so great, right? Who maybe doesn't speak English that well, or isn't, all there in the head. Maybe they're slow, maybe they're new. Like I can't necessarily take a break when I want to take a break, right? So some days I can't take a break because I have to attend to the person who's new or the person who can't speak English that well because they need help dealing with the transactions, right? They don't understand certain things, right? So anyways, like what I'm just basically trying to say is that Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, all these different gig delivery groups, right? Delivery companies, you can absolutely make a lot of money, right? And now people will say, oh, there's, gas involved, and, you gotta, use up a lot of your mileage and everything. And, that's true and all, but at the same time, everything has a pro and con. Everything has a downside. So if that's a downside, I'll take that, right? Because guess what? When I do Uber or DoorDash or whatever, you know what I gain? I gain freedom. I gain peace of mind. And guess what? I'm still making damn near the same money I make at my job, right? So I look at it like, yeah, okay, I spend money on gas I don't get back, right? But I gain freedom. I gain mental peace. I gain autonomy over what I can do, right? And it's great, right? I don't have to deal with people. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, I don't have to deal with guests. I don't have to deal with complaints. I don't have to deal with stressful situations that I have no control over at my, 9 to 5 or my real job. So it's awesome, right? And like for example, yesterday I drove for 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's how long I was on. I made $80, right? So do the math. That's like $21, 20.5, $20 an hour. Well, subtracting from gas, maybe $18, $17, just driving people around. You can't beat that, man. And yeah, one thing that also sucks at times is people don't tip, right? So there's been, there's sometimes during my day, if I do 10 trips, 2 or 3 don't tip, right? And that sucks, right? That really sucks. And I don't get too upset about it because, some people just might not have the money to do it. Or some people are just like that, right? They're not giving. But at the end of the day, right, I'll take this side hustle over any other part-time job, right? I'll take it over working security. I'll take it over working a restaurant. I'll take it over working any other job, right? Fast food. Because like I said, one thing that I really value is my time and my freedom, right? Like if there's, like I remember, okay, for example, when I was working that second job as a restaurant, in the restaurant as a host, there was times where there would be no more reservations left. Like we've taken all the reservations. The last reservation was at 8 p.m. at night, right? And right after 8, I'm thinking, okay, like I'm gonna get out of here within the next 30 minutes, right? But no, like my manager for some reason just kept me there till like 9:30, right? 10 o'clock. And there was, mind you, there was no one coming in. There was no more people coming in to get seated, right? So reservations were all set and there were no walk-ins that came in to get seated between 8 and 10. So I sat there from 8 all the way till like 9:30, right? With no guests, right? With no people coming in to get seated. Why didn't I just get sent home at 8:30? Why am I sitting there wasting my time for an hour and 30 minutes when there's nothing to do, when there's nothing going on? I want to go home. I have to work in the morning. I had to wake up the next day at 5 and go to work, right? So one thing, and that pissed me off because it's like, why? I hate being under other people's control. If I want to go, right? If I want to stop doing something and it makes sense. Now I understand, right? Talking about the restaurant, if there was more people coming in after 8 o'clock, okay, yeah, keep me there because there's shit to do, right? And there's still people, there's still guests, so keep me there, makes sense. But why are you keeping me there if there's no one there? And I know what it was, right? The managers, they don't want to stand there and have to attend to the front desk, right? Because they want to go and they want to talk their shit in the back, they want to bullshit, they want to have conversations, right? And they want to do their own thing, right? And they don't want to have to deal with whoever comes up, or they don't want to have to deal with the phone, right? And take, take phone deliveries. They don't want to do any of that, right? So they left me up there, right? And I said, you know what, man? That was when that started happening consistently every day. That was when I quit that restaurant job, because I was like, yo, man, like I'm not going to be someone's bitch for 2 hours when they just want to sit back and talk for 2 hours while I'm up here, sitting here doing nothing and wanting to leave, right? Especially when, I had to work the next day at 5 or 6, sorry. So, all in all, I love Uber, right? And honestly, I can see myself doing Uber for the next fucking 10 years, for the next 50 years. I'll do Uber till I die. It's easy. It's free. It represents freedom. It represents peace of mind, and it represents kind of like an entrepreneurial sort of endeavor, right? It's sort of it's like you're almost like a private contractor, right? You're like an entrepreneur / private contractor, right? That's kind of what it reminds me of. So, I'm just bringing this to your attention because a lot of you guys, you want extra money, or maybe you want to quit your job, right? Maybe you're making some money right now from your business and you want to leave your primary job, but you're like, damn, you feel like you might still need some extra income just to keep a head over your, roof over your head, or you just want some extra money so you can continue to invest. Uber, guys, Uber. I can't promote this gig hard enough, right? So, You know, and you could say that security is a good one too, but the thing with security is, yeah, okay, you got no one there, but at the same time, if no one shows up, right, when your shift is over, guess what? You got to stay, right? And it's like, dude, I don't want to be subjected to that, right? When my shift is over, I'm trying to go home, right? Because I've been, you know, 8 hours is enough, 9 hours is enough. I'm trying to go home, right? And it's the same thing with Uber, luckily, but I make the decision when I can stop, when I stop, right? No one can tell me what I can and when I can start and when I can stop. I make those hours, right? So this is, like I said, a cheat code to life, to money, to escaping the matrix. And I think everyone who has a car and who can drive and who has a license, right, should take advantage of it. It's an opportunity, right? And you know, gas prices aren't that crazy right now. I mean, where I live, they're a little over $3, but it's not as nearly as bad as it was back in 2021, 2022. I know gas prices used to be like over $4 like 2-3 years ago. But anyways, take advantage of this because, like I said, I mean, all of you guys want to invest in assets and real estate, and you guys want extra money to, you know, buy things or just to save, right? Just to invest and save and retire, hopefully at a good age. This is a way to do it, right? And some of you guys, maybe it's not so much about the money. Maybe you just want to get out of the house, right? I've had some people where I've had some interesting conversations with, right? And, you know, it's a good way to socialize. You know, not everyone wants to talk, but, you know, if you want to get out of the house for a few hours on a day off, or, you know, you want to kill some time, or maybe you just don't want to be subjected to your vices that you've been struggling with, right? Like me, you know, there's certain things that I struggled with in the past, right? That I know I need to stay away from, and I know that keeping busy is the number one way to stay away from them. This is a great way to do that. So give it a shot, right? And if you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know as well. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.